What is up, Sooner Nation? I am Casey Mallon, and you are now, come on, get with me in a Sooner state of mind. And make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and Amazon Music. Wave that flag, baby. Wave it wide and high. Summertime done come and gone. My, oh my. Mm-mm-mm. As a kid, I loved summer. As an adult, I love summer to be over. We just got past the 4th of July, made it through, didn't lose any of the digits. You know why? Because we have crap fireworks in Los Angeles. Unless you're one of those people that goes to the state over, maybe hits Arizona and brings back some goodies. I would never do something like that, but it has been known to happen around these parts. We just had the dumb little snakes and sparklers and crap like that, but it was safe. It was fun. Did most of my damage at the table, crushing some dogs and some burgers, some cherry pie, some apple pie. Had all the fix-ins, and you clean up your own fix-ins. But a good time was had by all. Like I said, we're on the other side of that now. And you know what that means? After July comes August. You know what happens in August? The return of college football, which means the return of Oklahoma Sooners football. Stoke levels are rising, people. It is right around the corner. I'm starting to freak out, but I got to pump the brakes a little bit. It's going to take a little time to get there, but just a few sleeps, and we will be watching our Sooners take the field. Actually, been a lot of news this offseason surrounding the program. Lots of comings and goings, but I don't think anybody outside the program saw this one happening. Joe Castiglione, announced recently that he will be stepping down as the athletic director at Oklahoma in 2028. Joe C. has done an incredible job at the university. He joined in 1998 after 5 seasons at Mizzou in the same role. Currently, the longest tenured AD in the country. And he started letting the university know recently. Now, he is going to remain the AD until the Sooners hire his replacement. But those are big shoes to fill, man, and it will not be easy. During Joe C's run, 32 of his former employees have gone on to become ADs at other schools. Under Joe C, OU has won 26 national championships across all sports. Took us from the Big 12 to the SEC, where it just means more. During Joe C's tenure, OU 26 consecutive bowl games for our Sooners. That's pretty good. Men and women's hoops have reached 5 Final Fours. And maybe the crown jewel of all Joe C's accomplishments, softball won 8 natties, including 4 in a row just before this season. So, lots of changes going on with the university. Lots of changes in the athletic department. Late last year in December, the school hired Randall Stevenson. He was the former AT&T CEO as an executive advisor to the president and athletic director. So I'm sure he'll have some say on who they bring in that situation. Swaggy Jim Nagy came in February, early this year, as GM for football. I'm sure he's going to have some thoughts on the matter as well. And the landscape of college football continues to change. We thought the past couple of years were the wild, wild west. It is going bananas, and they're starting to try to regulate it, but there's still so much fluctuation that we're not going to see the end result for a few years to come. This year, the Sooners have over $20 million to distribute to the programs, and who knows what exactly we're going to see moving forward, but there is going to be some type of revenue sharing, have a cap on the dollars, and you'll be able to distribute that between the programs. Some are going to fall wayside at some schools, maybe even at OU. But that's all down the road stuff. For now, we got to celebrate what we had in Joe C. And wouldn't it be sweet to send this guy out with a natty? Shoot, had 4 Heisman Trophy winners since he's been here. So while it's going to be sad to see him go, there's been rumblings around people, oh, does Joe C still have it? Which my answer to that is yes. It is hard to stay in a position for that long, but Joe C brought us Big Game Bob. Enough said, right? So incredible accomplishments, incredible career. He's going to stay for the transition. He's going to make sure the Sooners are in good hands before he takes that ride off into the sunset, and he'll still have a role with the program, just not everything in the day-to-day. So can't thank Joe C enough for that. I mentioned 4 Heismans, and if you believe the hype, John Mateer might have a shot at it, an outside shot. He's not high up on the list, but you never know. A lot could get together for this season. A lot will be on Mateer's shoulders. We also have Mike Hawkins Jr. waiting in the wings. Pretty good company there. And the next in line was supposed to be Jaden O'Neal, who we saw it getting a little funky there. He moved to Oklahoma, but was still taking visits to other schools. And since then, he has moved on to Florida State. Sooner Nation was getting ready to freak out. But just a few hours later, the picture became clearer. It's when the Sooners got the commitment from Bo Bentley, the legacy. 6'1", 200 pounds. It was down to the Sooners and the LSU Tigers. And Bentley decided to come to Norman. He also had offers from Florida State, Georgia, and Ohio State. Wanted to be a Sooner. When the Sooners started looking his direction, I think that's when Jaden O'Neal started getting antsy and looking elsewhere. Bentley, dual threat quarterback, tremendous athleticism. He's been crushing it this summer at the Elite 11 camp. He's getting a lot of comparisons to John Mateer. Undefeated last year's junior season, where he threw for over 3,200 yards, 47 touchdowns, ran for 900 plus yards, and 16 touchdowns running the ball. Seems like he's going to be a great fit in this Ben Arbuckle offense. It's going to have the tutelage of Mateer for at least a year. He's going to have his work cut out to try to jump Hawk. I don't see that happening, but there's nothing wrong with stacking these QBs. You never know when an injury's going to hit or what's going to happen, so you recruit the best and you let them compete for the opportunity to start, and you want the players that are into that want that challenge, that want to be pushed, that want to work hard. So it looks like it's going to be a bright future for our Sooners at quarterback. And maybe we get back to that 20 plus years of being spoiled rotten with tremendous quarterback play. And I think that can come as soon as this year with John Mateer, which we'll get to down the road. That 26 class starting to add some nice pieces 4-star tight end Tyler Ruxer, another blue chipper. He was the 9th rated tight end in 2026. He had interest from other schools. 6'4", 220 pounds. He's expected to be more of a receiving threat, which has been missing from this offense the last few years. He's played a little receiver, so he's got that element to his game. We're going to need good blocking out of these tight ends too. We've had a lot of people come in and just not been able to get it done. Hopefully he'll be able to challenge those defenses and make some big plays for this offense. Last year, 43 receptions, almost 900 yards, and 12 touchdowns. As you may or may not know, probably do know, Sooner Nation's had those pitchforks ready. It's amazing how quick we get them out, but lots of talk about Joe John Finley. People are upset that the tight end position hasn't seen the same heights as Mark Andrews, as Jermaine Grisham, as what we had been doing there for a while. Need that to be an asset to this offense. And if Ruxer gets it right, maybe that buys Joe John a little equity with this fan base. How quickly they forget, right? Sooners also added a bad to the bone running back into Zephin Walker, 6', 205, 4-star. He's from Kansas. Check that Missouri, Kansas, Missouri. It's the same thing. 25th ranked running back in the nation. Coach DeMarco Murray doing some work late, got that commitment for the Sooners. Starting to get some prospects there again, right? OU's been known for having those dynamic running backs. Got to get to it. I'm excited for what we have in the backfield this year. In the next couple of weeks, we'll take a closer look at all the positions. And as these guys get back to fall camp and we start getting some of the depth charts and getting more news out of camp, we'll have a better idea how that picture's coming together. Lots of expectation for Ott and Barnes and Tatum, etc. X. It's going to be crowded, but hopefully someone can take the lead. And if not, let's just run that damn football. It's going to be exciting. Don't normally talk about kickers, but the Sooners got Trace Rudd, a 5-star kicker. It's not too shabby. When you can trust that position, you know how it feels when it's shaky back there. You're like, ugh. When you know it's locked down, that's a good feeling. So getting a 5-star kicker sounds pretty good. Also, 26, linebacker Bo Jandro, 6'1", 215. Chose the Sooners over Texas and Oregon. He was quoted, the place that God has called me to come help lead and help bring OU back to its roots. I like hearing that kind of talk out of a linebacker. Kind of reminds me of Danny Stutzman. Hopefully the play can do the same thing. He's joining his bro on the squad. Pretty stoked about it. Sooners also land 4-star edge rusher Daniel Norman out of St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida. He chose the Sooners over Miami, UCLA, and Colorado, and plenty of other schools. It's a big dude. Bringing PJ vibes. Hopefully he can live up to that size and get into that mix next year and continue the building of this defense. So now this 2026 class is looking pretty good. I'm not even talking about Deacon Schmidt and Noah Best. Keep getting these offensive linemen. Bill Bedenbaugh. We got Fasusi and Foje this year. Hopefully these guys are continuing that mix. So starting to get stoked about 2026. But Let's keep that stoke in the present in 2025. We're right up on it. Did I mention we have Sooner football next month? You got that right, my friends. And for that season, Sooner Nation got some good news. Free public tailgating in the North Oval. For the first time at the university, we're going to set up tailgates right there in the Oval. You know, because in the SEC, it just means more. But in seriousness, we had to step our tailgating game up. SEC is known to have some pretty good parties at the stadiums before the game. Sooners need to live up to that hype. Add to it. Make people mention that Sooner tailgating scene as one of the best. This is a good step towards that. Talking about enhancing the game day experience. OU Pres Joe Harris says he hopes that this will be, the Oval will be the tailgating spot to join, making the game day tradition even better. He wants to establish this as the spot to be. Isn't this great? It's going to be easy for tailgate setups. The band will be there, mascot appearances, food trucks, activities for the kiddies, and video boards to watch other football games while we're waiting for our Sooners to take the field. Easy restrooms and dining. Sounds pretty good. BV says it's all about growing the atmosphere. Anything we can do as a university and fan base to enhance an already vibrant pregame scene is exciting. Our players and staff feed off the campus energy on game days, and you better believe that spirit carries over to Owen Field. We are looking forward to August 30th and are confident Sooner Nation will bring the juice all season. In the minds of the Sooner brass, this will be the place where it's all happening. It's going to be fun. It's going to be free. And spaces there will be available on a first come, first serve basis. So Sooner fan, get there early. Stay late. Get loud, okay? And as I just said, Sooner fan will get their first taste of that new tailgating scene on August 30th. Woo, baby, that is right around the corner. That will be against Illinois State. That's set for a 5 p.m. Central start. And we have game time set in for a lot of the games. And then we have the windows for the other games that we don't have times nailed down for. Week 2, September 6th, Michigan. That will be at 6:30 p.m. And that better be rocking. And I know that it will be. September 13th at Temple. That's an 11 a.m. start. September 20th, Jackson Arnold and the Auburn Tigers come to Norman. And that will be anywhere between 2:30, 3:30, or 5 to 7 p.m. Kent State after the bye, 3 p.m. The Hated Ones, October 11th. That'll be 2:30 p.m. And then at South Carolina and hosting Ole Miss be the 11 to noon hours. And then November 1st at Tennessee will either be that 2:30, 3:30 window or the 5 to 7 window. Oh, have a bye week after that. Then it's at Bama. Woo, 2:30, 3:30, or 5 to 7. And then back-to-back home games, hosting Mizzou at 11 a.m. and hosting LSU, which they have both of those windows, but I'm assuming it is going to be the late window. What a schedule. It is brutal, but We'll get into that as the season gets a little bit closer and kind of look at those teams in advance of all that and start looking at those games and seeing if we can plug in a win-loss total. Next week, SEC Media Days. That should bring some pretty good sights and sounds. It is going to be hype. Very hype. So get yourself in a Sooner state of mind, as we will have all that Sooner goodness right here for you guys, okay? But before you do all that, head on over to Believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Go to shows, type in Sooner State of Mind, and you are locked. We have a ton of great content, every team, every topic, everywhere, Believe.com. And if you want to watch Sooner State of Mind, head on over to YouTube and search the Football Dudes. We are there, people. It's getting close. I can taste it. I can taste it. Are you as stoked as I am? Because here on Sooner State of Mind, stoke levels are rising, people. Come on. Get your mind right. My name is Casey Mallon, and I am in a Sooner state of mind.